Hey guys, HDvee here. Now, I recently made a video about the top 5 hardest Pokemon to evolve, and you guys really seemed to enjoy it and wanted me to make more. And so today's video is pretty much just a part 2 to that video. It is of course a big topic, and you guys made it pretty clear to me in the comment section that I may have missed out a couple Pokemon that are really difficult to evolve that perhaps should have made the list. With that being said, this is my top 5 hardest Pokemon to evolve part 2. Let's get started. Coming in at number 5 we have Abra to Kadabra to Alakazam. Now we all know how annoying Abra was in Generation 1 to first of all just catch, having only one chance to throw a Pokeball before it would always flee with Teleport. After obtaining Abra, using it in battle was never an easy task either, seeing as the only move it can use is Teleport. Because of this, you have to grind it up all the way to level 16 before finally getting a Kadabra who actually learns an attacking move. It unfortunately doesn't get better after that. You then have to trade your Kadabra with a friend to get an Alakazam, and whilst Alakazam is an amazing Pokemon, you have to go on quite a journey to get one. Now, since we're on the topic of Pokemon that you have to grind up levels because they can't use an attacking move, at number 4 we have Magikarp. You have to grind up Magikarp all the way to level 15 before it can even attack, and even then it only learns Tackle, and paired with Magikarp's incredibly low attack stat of 10, it isn't really going to do the best damage you've ever seen. However, 5 levels after that and your Magikarp will evolve into the incredibly powerful Gyarados, a very nice prize after going through the trauma of training up that god-awful fish. Coming in at the halfway point we have Kingdra. Now, Kingdra was a pretty good Pokemon in Generation 2, being only weak to Dragon and so held some pretty good ground in the competitive scene. However, getting one was a bit of hassle. Firstly, you had to obtain a Seadra, either through catching one or by evolving a Horsey. You then had to find a Dragon Scale. In Gold, Silver and Crystal, it can be obtained inside Mount Mortar, and also can be acquired by defeating Wild Horsey, fellow Seadra, Dratini and Dragonair. After this, you then had to trade your Seadra holding the Dragon Scale to someone you trust, hoping that you'd get it back as a newly evolved Kingdra. Coming in at number 2 we have Hydreigon. Now, if you thought evolving Larvesta into Volcarona was difficult, getting a Hydreigon takes it a small step further. Of all the Pokemon that evolved by leveling up, Hydreigon evolved from its pre-evolution later than any other Pokemon, at level 64. Yes, 64. And that's not even looking into the fact that Dino, who is the first stage of this evolution, has to get all the way to level 50 before it evolves into Zweilous. I hope you're packing some rare candies because getting a Hydreigon is definitely going to take you a while. Claiming in the number 1 spot in today's video is Goodra. The first stage of this evolution, Goomy, evolves into Sliggoo at level 40, which means you'll have to gain 10 levels until you can start evolving into Goodra, as Sliggoo evolves starting at level 50. Getting a Pokemon to level 50 is difficult enough, especially if you don't have the help of rare candies. However, evolving Sliggoo into Goodra takes it that one step further. In order to evolve Sliggoo, it has to be raining. This means that you have to find a spot in the Pokemon games where it is raining, which is also pretty difficult. Level up your Sliggoo in this way to finally get that powerful Goodra that you've been after. But with that wraps up this video. I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did making it. Looking at difficult Pokemon to evolve is always a pleasure because it's really exciting looking at the possibilities. If you did enjoy the video though, please leave a like, I'd really appreciate it. If you have any other Pokemon that you think should have made the list, then please leave them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If you'd like to see more types to these videos, I have a couple top 5s coming onto your screen in a second, so be sure to give them a watch if you have the time. That's everything from me though, so thanks for watching, have a nice day and I'll see you in the next video.